Welcome to Dear Alice, a lifestyle approach to interior design.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Dear Alice. We are a day away from Valentine's Day. Yes. So happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Valentine's. Yes, I hope you guys have some juicy plans and you're not like the three of us sitting at this table.
It's always that New Year's Eve. It's like,
it is. It's just too much.
We just like take work off.
Let's get new jammies.
Yeah.
And not go out because like everywhere's crowded. So anyway, good luck battling the crowds.
Mm-hmm. Yes. But hopefully you have a love. Yeah.
Yes. Or people, that's what's most important.
Or people to celebrate love with.
Yes.
Yeah. A good group, whether it be Galentine's or Valentine's or however you do it. Thanks for being here, guys. I wanted to tell you guys really quick to give us a follow on Instagram. We are at Alice Lane Interiors, is the interior design side of things where we're working on homes and remodels. You can follow those projects there, or you can follow the store at Alice Lane Home. If you have a design conundrum, you're working on something, you're wanting to get new furnishings, we have a really great free program. It's called the Home Furnishing Design Service. And we have designers on standby. They're in AutoCAD. They can put your room in there and really help you with the space planning or know what size rug you need or whatever you need, or you want to know what size art to get because you can get it made in any size, or you have a weird size room, so you need a special size rug. We can make that for you.
You're afraid to order the sectional.
Yeah.
We'll help you.
You don't do sectional math, or people do that. Yeah. So anyway, I just go to alicelanehome.com and then just go to the design services tab, go to home furnishing design, and they will start helping you on your project.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Before we get, so today's listener questions, by the way, I don't know if we said that. Yeah.
Today's episode. Great.
It's one of my favorites. Yes. It's the best. I'm going to give you guys a question first. And since it's on our Valentine's Day, what have you guys been obsessing over or crushing on lately? It can be, I'll say anything, food, TV, design, whatever.
I love it all.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, like we've been binging, you guys. I'm so dumb. Like when I start a show, like I am in, and I like have a hard time sleeping because I want to know how it ends. And so I will totally binge. And last night I stayed up till 4 a.m. So dumb. That's not responsible at all.
How did you wake up? Like you just got 3 hours of sleep or what?
Pretty much, yeah. Because my kids wake up, so yeah, I'm running on fumes. But Day of the Jackal. It's on Peacock, and you guys, it's with what's his cute name? Eddie Redmayne, something like that. Anyway, he's on like Fantastical Beasts, and anyway, you'll recognize him when you see him. He's darling, and it's so good. But the whole show is really great. But the thing I'm crushing on the most is their home in Spain. Like I just kept like pausing it. Tom was already asleep, and I'm just like pause.
So you just like freeze frame and check it out.
The cars are beautiful, like all these vintage, beautiful European cars. They're just going all over Europe. His suiting's awesome. Like the way he dresses is so dapper and darling. She's a doll. Just the whole thing, like it's definitely a suspenseful series, but it was really great. So that's what it's hot on my mind because I didn't get any sleep because of it. I loved it so much.
I have to tell you, Adam heard about it from his parents.
Really?
And they're loving it. Okay. Yeah. And they're in their early 80s, and yeah, they're like, it's so smart. They're completely hooked.
Smart
it is.
Show.
It's not one of those that you can be like surfing your phone at night while it's going on. I've been doing that while it's been on. I'm like, well, what happened? And I was like, it's so smartly written. You really just need to watch it and hang on. And so I'm not as far into it as Sue, but that house, his closet.
Oh my gosh.
It's all so smart. So if you love interiors, you're going to love that. Yeah.
It's a mood.
It is
the way
suspenseful.
She dresses, like while she's by the pool, I'm just like, oh, that's such a mood. Like I want to go to Spain.
Yeah. And I'm going to say the first episode, probably the first 15, 20 minutes of it, you're going to be like, I don't like this show. Or at least I didn't, because it was like kind of dark and scary, but it was just that moment. And then when you start seeing the story develop, you're like, okay, wait, hold on. Let's just keep watching it.
Gripping.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I just don't love the way, but I don't like scary stuff. So I didn't love the first scene. Yeah. So keep watching.
It's good.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been obsessing over recently.
I love it.
Recently. So
you just binged it.
Totally
You did it in one night?
No, like it's been like the last 3 or 4 nights, but I would like fall asleep, and then last night I was doing work stuff, and then like I like was paying attention like to the last few episodes, and it was just like I couldn't take my eyes off.
Are you gonna rewatch it because Tom fell asleep?
Yeah, 100%, and then I'll catch new things. I actually like doing that. So unless he finished it. without me today. I don't know. So
okay, I have been obsessing over this image that got served to me on Instagram from somebody I follow, and it has been living in my mind rent-free for probably the end of December, all of January. I can't get it out of my mind. I think it's because, do you want to hold this toward one of the cameras? I think it's because, so Corey and I are working on developing new outdoor pots. I feel like this is hard for people to get right. I oftentimes will go up to somebody's front door and they have the smallest of little tiny pots on their porch, and you can't actually have really nice big vegetation like a tree living in it, or they'll have a faux plant out there, and I'm like, no.
You got a real plant out here.
We need to help people.
The sun will help.
And we need to show them how to combine maybe a couple pots together. And so we found the mothership. We've been designing our own pots. I'm so excited to be able to bring these to you. But in this image, I was like, we can't just have one style of pot. The combination of the white with the terracotta is so beautiful. And we just got our prototypes here. We're going to do a whole collected pot moment in the opening of the store on the front porch, if you will, and just do tons of them with just greens painted. I'm not like a flowery girl, but I love different sculptural vegetation, and it's just going to be super lush, I hope.
I love that.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
And whenever I pull up to the store in the morning, I'm like, oh, I can't wait. I can see it already. I'm just like crushing for this moment to happen. And
yeah, that
I can't wait to see it all come together.
That picture sold me on the terracotta pot. I was like, yes, okay.
Yeah.
I see the
The
vision
hope
now.
of spring.
It's going to come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So look forward to that. It'll be like what? It'll be summer.
Yeah, early summer,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. So good.
What about you, Cor?
Again, Instagram, scrolling through Instagram, and there was this like home, and I saw it. The outside is amazing, but I was like, okay, cool. I'm telling you right now, this is the only home I've ever seen that's like, I would move in today, fully furnished, everything exactly how it is. It's awesome. So it's 80 posted it. It's a historic home in Portland, Oregon. You can go read the story. Like it's so just type in like historic Portland, Oregon home 80, and it'll come up. The owner is Elizabeth Miller. I don't know who she is.
Okay.
I'm happy for her though.
It's
You
your
know?
dream. It's your dream home.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's the one that I like. Had that like curved sofa and that blue velvet fabric with those two. In the deconstructed tiger. I was like, can I just live in this? Like, I'll pay you rent, live in the room. I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out.
But you're walking around there in your mind, and it's perfect.
Yeah, it's so cool. Even the entry. I don't know if you remember, but it kind of had like a canted base. It kind of like reminded me of Luca. So like canted base, and then the top end is like high lacquer.
What was it? Cocktail table or center hall?
Yeah,
love.
And it was like high
so
lacquer,
cool.
like peacock color. I'm just like, man, it felt like it was designed for me, but I guess it's Elizabeth's.
I love it.
Yeah,
So
good for her. Awesome.
Good for you.
Okay, should we jump into it?
Let's do it.
Awesome. Okay, the first question comes from, I'm going to destroy this last name, but Katie Gillett.
Gillett?
Yeah. She asked, how do you gauge the perfect size of rooms? I know there are rooms that feel too small, but what about too expensive? Expansive, sorry.
I think the way we do, in fact, this is the first study we'll do on a set of plans. It was the design development. We will take the floor plans from the architect and we will space plan them with real furniture blocks. So furniture that we know that we're using today, we don't know what that architect is using as a furniture block. It might be something when he first set up his program, furniture was just smaller than, sofas weren't as deep. So we actually get in there and populate it the way that we would space plan it and circulate around it. And then we can start to show them like, oh, this room has a lot of bloat. Like you're going to need 3 sitting areas in here. Is that what you wanted? Because we could accommodate, but also are you okay with your furniture budget being millions of dollars, right? Because some of these rooms are massive. Yeah. And so it's oftentimes our job as the designer to tell them, we think that you could shave off 2 feet off the back of this house, or you can really start to get creative. And I think you can gain a lot of trust also from the client because they don't understand scale. They're looking at maybe a kitchen island that's been drawn in. I'll oftentimes too look at a man door because you know that a door is like usually a 3.6, or a 3.0. Or right? 3.0. Yeah.
3 feet.
So, sometimes you're like, oh, that's 3 feet. Well, sometimes a chair is 3 feet. So then I'll start to just use my hands if it's a hand-drawn plan. But really, we are space planning these.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a really good practice. If you guys are practicing interior design out there, space plan it, even if it's not the way the room's going to be, you gotta put a king size bed in that room and give them a good feel for, this is a normal nightstand and king size bed, or you're not going to have the room you hope for, or in your closet, this is a good idea of what you're going to be getting. But really, space planning it in CAD is the best aerial shot to teach people if their rooms are too small or too big.
Scale is so hard to understand when you're looking at a floor plan.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you sent this question in, because this is a definite Achilles heel for most people that just are trying to like live in a home. And they're like, oh, this is perfect. But then they move in and they're just like, oh my gosh, I feel like a tic tac rattling in here. It's too big and I don't feel cozy. And why did I spend all this money? So yeah,
especially with construction costs where they are right now, it's thousands of dollars a square foot in some places. Yeah, to
so
build.
If you don't need that square footage. Yeah.
Otherwise, you've got to furnish it, right? And at the end of the day, even people that can afford a designer and would be considered wealthy, they still, at the end of that job, they're really fatigued on spending money when it comes to all those windows and all those window treatments and all that furniture and larger rugs, because that room is so big. Like it's not just the construction cost; it's that everything is going to cost so much more.
Yeah, great answer.
The next question is from Sarah Cole. She asks, how to decorate entryways?
Great question, Sarah. I think when we look at like small entries, large, gracious entries, we're always going to want like a place to like set down your keys or have like some type of console that's going to be a landing spot. And usually above that console, we're going to have a mirror. It's a great way, like when you're going to the door to check yourself, make sure you don't have broccoli in your teeth. You know, and also for your guests to just like kind of check themselves as they're entering into a space. I think it's considerate and it usually reflects light. So we'll have like a lamp there to welcome you, and we'll have like, you know, a bowl or something, a marble bowl to catch your keys. We'll have some smart books, a candle to kind of like give a scent to the space as people come into your home. So I think there's always a table, there's always a mirror, there's always light, and that functionality that you need when you come into a space. If you're a no-shoes home, like teach people how to do that. Or whatever that looks like for you, like organize it so people know how to use the space and feel welcome in the entry. That's its job. So
and as big of a rug as you can.
Oh yeah,
because you're going to feel comfortable right away, and you want that rug to be, I think, interesting.
Yeah,
to really sort of set the mood for this little tiny space. It's like a powder bath, right? An entryway. It's like you want them to be able to experience something in a small space. You're not going to get tired of it because you're not living in it that long. So you're going to go for it on your original art that might reflect back in that mirror. But I think that formula is just something that we always go to, which is a large case good, right? Whether it be console or a chest.
Yeah, or center hall table. If you do have a large.
Oh gosh, if you can.
Center hall table.
Yes, definitely.
Load it up.
Yeah. I think somebody asked a similar question about having an open concept floor plan. How do I make an entry out of this? The center hall table floats in an entryway, and then you can nest a couple of ottomans underneath that center hall table. You can sort of load it up with
you have like your Oli chair, that beautiful yellow chair, you know, and so it's somewhere for someone to sit down, or that ottoman that you're going to nest in the console if it's smaller. To like take off your boots or whatever and get comfortable. And again, it's the appetizer for the rest of the house. Like,
be wild.
Yeah, put your cards, like show them your cards a little bit in that space and go for it. So
yeah, it was a good place for me to do a yellow mohair chair because it's not like it needs to get along with anybody. It's an entryway, you know. It's fairly neutral. You've got a fun rug. So this is a place to get some of your design chops out.
So happy.
Yeah.
It's just a happy place.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how we would do it.
Rad. The next questions, they all came from Instagram, so we didn't put the handles on there.
But thank you for sending them.
Yes.
But
this listener wrote in, asked how to pick which window treatments to use, blinds versus curtains versus shades.
Great question.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's always going to be 2 of the 3 that she said. So I actually just went over to my brother's house. He's moving into a new home, and he's like, it's a fishbowl, quick. We need to cover the windows for privacy. And so I said, okay, let's come over and just get window coverings. And these are the things that are going to give you either the blackout opportunity if it's for a bedroom. It's going to give you opacity if it's a bathroom with a shower in it, so you need privacy, or it's just going to filter light in a really beautiful way where maybe it's like semi-sheer or open weave, but at least you can't see into the house. You can't see, what's happening or the silhouettes. And these can all give you a real mood. Now that's just covering the windows. Once he actually moves into the house with the furniture, then we're going to look at draping the windows for the moods of the room. So those more elevated spaces that they want to have a feeling in, we're going to add the drapes. And the drapes actually live on the wall right next to the window. And they're decorative, but they're also sound absorbing. They're space expanding. They make the room elegant. Yeah. But their primary job today isn't actually to give you privacy. It's mostly to just give you this really beautiful finished look. We've often said it's like the mascara to your eye makeup, right? Yeah. It's elongating. It's beautiful. It's elegant.
It finishes it. A room that if you're like, my room doesn't feel finished, probably it's the pillows or the window treatments. Like guarantee you, if you change those things, or do those things, make them more full, do them correctly, mount them to as high as you can go. It's just its job to just be like the finishing final touch.
Yeah.
So we would do shades. We would do decorative window treatments like draperies on those.
And on the shades, I found when we were just doing my brother's house that we would do roller shades in the rooms that they didn't want to spend as much money. Maybe kids' bedrooms on a lower level, or a pantry-way that had a couple of windows, or something like that. He's more contemporary and more minimal. And so we used rollers there, but then we used really nice, beautiful silhouettes from Hunter Douglas in the primary living spaces. And they looked very chic and sheer and modern for him. I actually have the silhouettes in mine covering my windows in most of my home. And I love the way they control the light and the different options that you have. So it's quite a lift. I have to say, window treatments can really add up. Yeah. But you're going to address them depending on the zones that you're in, and you're going to want probably both. Now, not every room needs a curtain, but those primary ones, you're going to add those draperies to the blinds.
Finish it off.
Yeah.
Well polished.
Yep.
Okay.
The next question is, when renting, where do you save and where do you invest?
Well, most people aren't going to be doing a new kitchen or a new bathroom or anything in a rental, right? It's not a good investment. But you can buy furniture. We would invest in the things that you can take with you to when you do buy a home. I always think it's rugs and art are my favorite things to spend money on. It's so fun. But art, I think, is really great just because most people, that's the hardest layer for them to identify. So while you're in this renting mode, you need things on your wall to make it feel like your home. So start to look at larger scaled art pieces. Figure out what type of art you like and what combinations you like. If you like subjects, people, or more abstracts, and try give yourself some flexibility to like more than one thing. Otherwise, it'll just go flat. So if you can start investing in art, start investing in good rugs, because there will be places in your new place that you can use those.
Yeah.
And then the furniture, buy a really great piece of furniture that you've been crushing on, an iconic, chair, mid-century chair, or something that you just always love that can stay in a collection for a long time. That's what you should invest in. I
think separates, Suzanne is saying, because there's been this idea for a long time that's oh, I've got a room, I need to buy a sectional, right? They just want one piece to do all the work for them. And it's a minimal idea, but you don't know how your home that you're going to buy or your next rental is you might need a sectional in a whole different orientation. Yeah. So trying to stuff that thing into a rental is going to be so much more impossible than buying separates. So by separates, we're talking about chairs and sofas, single things that aren't connected to make a big long thing. I think that's gonna be the most forgiving. And we have a belief at Alice Lane Interior Design that we love chairs. They bring the personality to the room. I'd say that'd be one thing to collect too, besides art, is interesting chairs, because they're the characters in the room. So if you're working on your chair collection, you can always put a chair in a bedroom. You can always put a chair in a living room, an office, a pair of chairs here or there. Start collecting your chairs, because they are going to bring the personality to any space. And when you're in a rental, you want personality. You want it to feel like yourself. So with the rugs and the art, a lot of separates are going to be able to mix into any home in the future. And you can always invest in great bedding, great towels. You can live well there and bring those things with you.
Definitely.
Yeah, I love that.
The next question, the listener asks, how to warm up a mostly white kitchen?
Ooh, great question.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure a lot of people have this question.
Yeah.
White's been kind of king for a while.
Yep. And if you own the kitchen, I would say your backsplash is an opportunity.
Countertop backsplash.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Warming that up. Great hardware.
Oh my gosh, great hardware. Great lighting too. I think something interesting. And when you're dealing with a white kitchen, look for contrast. Again, in the warmer tones, I think like your runner that you're going to be sitting like between, like at your sink, get a great rug runner, get great lighting, hardware. What else? Backsplash, we said.
I think, you know, it this might feel really generic, but I do think loading up that backsplash with a bunch of really beautiful cutting boards, whether they be marble or wood. And then I love our penny lamp was sized to go underneath a backsplash. You can plug it in, and having that little lamp glowing all night, even when you're cooking dinner or when you put the kitchen to bed at night, having that on, it's like a nightlight in the kitchen, and it really, truly visually warms the space.
Yep.
And it, depending on your style, I'd say the brass is the most popular of the penny lamps. So you could have that little brass ball as the lamp, or you could, or sorry, it's the body of the lamp, and then it's a little tiny shade. Or you can do crystal if you want something more transparent. You want to be able to see some of those breadboards and marble boards behind layered. That's pretty as well. But I love a baby lamp in a kitchen. Yeah, so pretty.
I was also going to say too, we'll just keep talking about this question for a while. When you like look through a magazine, you'll see a kitchen. And when you dissect the kitchen, you're like, it's okay. But what's so great is the massive, like the pot or something with like greens or something happening on the island. Yeah. I always think it's such a beautiful gesture. And when we're doing a photo shoot or really trying to make a kitchen come to life, getting something on that island or a countertop that has life, some greenery, plants, something is what I think like brings it home. Right. So
yeah, even that
proof of life,
that stack of breadboards that we were talking about, getting a really beautiful, like blue and white pot and getting fresh basil growing out of that right by your cooktop. So the story is that you're going to pluck that off and put it in the sauce, right? Those living herbs are so, so pretty and organic and fresh. And then you can do something larger on the kitchen island. Or we have a couple of really great marble bowls. I think filling those, like I just barely, is it our Venice bowl? They come in two sizes. Yep. They're marble. We were doing a photo shoot. Actually, it was a home tour for Homeworthy. So if you guys like to watch Homeworthy, so good, they did my house on YouTube. So you can look up Homeworthy.
Jessica Bennett.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a Utah coastal home or something they call it. Anyway, I have an orange door, so you can look for that on the front. But that day when they were coming over, I'm like, what am I going to do on my island? So I have these marble bowls on it. I'm like, I'm just going to go to the grocery store and just fill them with produce. And in the larger of the two Venice bowls, I just got a bunch of purple onions and a bunch of shallots. And the shallots are that really pretty lighter purple color. And their shells are kind of half falling off. And those look beautiful in the marble. It's been like that since November. I've been cooking with them. Onions are so pretty.
Yeah.
So, and they last longer than most, just like bananas are going to go brown in a few days. But if you cook a lot, like putting your vegetables, those things that you're going to be chopping up or using, or maybe you guys make you use smoothies a lot. You're always buying bananas, or right now it's winter. So citrus, like oranges, lemons, limes, grouping like things together is so gorgeous. Like get a pair of those Venice marble bowls and fill one with produce, one with vegetables, or just one with something, but like together, right? Because citrus all looks beautiful together. Yes. It's not as random as seeing like one apple, a couple of brown bananas, and a few oranges, like all citrus in one, all purple onions and shallots in one. Yeah. It's just super pretty. Yeah. And then something tall, like you were saying, a live plant, a little basil, a little lamp under there, a couple of organic breadboards. You can feel it warming up. You're just adding life to it. It's storytelling. Yeah. This is really how you live.
Or just candle.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Love. So good. Yeah.
Awesome. The next one I think is a great question. The listener wrote, I stick to decorating in neutral colors, but I want to branch out. How to dip toes into color.
Oh, hey, I see you.
2025.
Yes.
The year of color.
Definitely. So you're gonna think about what colors you love to look at. Suzanne's color is always green, right?
Yeah, I love green, but I love all colors. So but I think you'll know what your eye likes. So if you start to even just like go on a Pinterest board and start to like create a color board and just like throw anything, like it could be outfits, it could be interiors, hopefully, and seeing like what are the common denominators looking for color. And then you'll start, and like, if there's any other decision makers, a spouse, boyfriend, whoever, that is also going to be like, have him do the same thing and start to figure out like, what are the colors we're consistently drawn in that we agree on. And then that's when you kind of start to understand your palette of how to introduce color. I think a great way to introduce color, I don't know if you're looking for a new rug. I think a rug is a beautiful way. We always start with our rug because it dictates so much of the color happening everywhere. And it's the biggest piece of art you can get. So I think a rug is an awesome way. If you don't want to replace like your full sectional or sofa that's neutral, your rug is going to give a lot of color back. The art on your walls, of course, you can like replace some of those. And art's one of those things I think it's really fun to rotate anyway. But like I would say like that's going to speak really loudly if you want to start with your art. That's really great. And then from there, you can kind of look at with the rug or the big pieces of art, you know, your pillow story. What does that look like? Really, lately we've been loving this kind of disciplined pillow story of just like two of the same pillow, like in a color. I did this at my house this summer where I had this kind of like this citron-y color, this velvet, and I just had two of them in the corner of my sofa. And it was everything. And it's so amazing how it spoke to so many things. It started to pick up on the golds and picked up on the color happening in my plant and my tree. And
your entry art is the whole background is yellow.
Yes, it's like neon yellow. So when you're looking for art, like just like see what you gravitate towards and get it. And then have something be a springboard that's going to tell your color story, be it art or rug.
I love that. And if you've already made your big, huge rug decision that's sitting under your neutral sectional on top of your neutral rug with your neutral cocktail table, the two pillow thing that Suze was saying, lots of big cocktail table books that are going to give back to the feeling in the room. You could buy a little runner for your kitchen sink that has color and pattern to it, right? You're going to, I think this time of year too, you're going to bring in plants.
Yeah. The tree,
like, get yourself a tree, I have a bird of paradise in my family room sitting on top of a side table, and it's like 12 feet in the air now. That's a lot of green and a lot of movement and so neutral, but it's a shot in the arm because it's organic and it's green, you know?
And you don't tire of it because it's the color you see outside your window.
Yeah.
You know, it's green, it's landscaping, it's all the things. So there's a lot of heavy lifting.
You're going to feel like you're doing something wild and crazy, but you've got to take that first step. And once you do, you're going to not believe how fun and invigorating it is. It's going to give you life.
I think the tree is actually a really safe way to start your color.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, trees, honestly, they're not that expensive. In the grand scheme of things, like new rugs can be very expensive.
It's cheaper than painting your room.
Painting your room.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's color, but it's also something our eye is like, likes and is used to because it's organic.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that. Great answer.
We've said this before in other podcasts, but I think, you know, if you're looking at it like where, like if they want to redo a room, I would say start with a smaller room, powder bath, something like that. You know what I mean? You're going to kind of go all in on a space.
It's a snowball effect.
Yeah.
Like start small and then just like see what you're comfortable with. So you're not making a massive expensive decision while you're exploring your color journey.
I would say if you're doing your powder bath, like wallpaper that sucker. Get a big mural. Like murals are the rage right now. And do something with a lot of color. And then that way you can just leave the door open on your powder bath. And when you walk by, you'll be like, okay, I got to do something in another room because it's giving you such life.
Pink so bad.
You're never going to get tired of it. It's just a little powder bath and it's going to give you courage to do more. So starting small is a really good idea.
That's great.
Totally.
Cool.
The next question is, the listener asks, I need storage for my bathroom. Ideas?
Yeah, I've got a great idea for you. The Beatrice Etagere, all brass.
It's one of my favorite things in our whole collection that we've ever developed. It's so beautiful.
You got to look it up on our Instagram. We should put a picture up here. We originally made it to be this small little etagere, which was perfect for bathrooms, primary bathrooms, powder bathrooms. You could even put it in an office and make it a bar, or it's just a perfect little piece. Well, there's such demand for it. It's one of our top 10 bestsellers.
You know, and in either etagere, you can like, I think boxes are such a beautiful way to like, our walnut boxes are so beautiful because there's always like little things. There's feminine products or extra toilet paper, all those things. That's what you're going to put some of those things that you don't necessarily want displayed in some beautiful boxes on the etagere. for storage. So
I love toilet paper in like a big, we have these champagne buckets, they're called. It's like a really beautiful bucket.
like a metal pewtery color.
Yeah. And then
Like
you can
gold
put rolls,
cap.
or you could do like a big hurricane and put tons of rolls of toilet paper that's individually wrapped if you're fancy, or just toss them all in there. But having a lot of them on a bottom shelf, is you just feel like everything's taken care of. Yeah.
And as a guest going to a bathroom that's like equipped, you're just like, oh, thank heavens. They have all the things. They have a mint over here. Great.
I think our penny dot boxes, the pair of them, are so pretty on Beatrice because they have these little tiny dots of brass against this bone colored background. And you really could open that up and fill it full of feminine products and just keep it on the shelf and nobody would see it. Yeah. You could get rid of that bright pink box that would normally sit on your shelf. So ugly. And hide it in, no, you know what I mean? They'll like dress it up. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like just really take care of yourself. And I think you'll feel really chic in the new year.
Oh, okay.
Also, like for function, just I hate underneath this thing like vanity. Like just everything in there. It's so deep, and you got to get on hands and knees.
Things go to die.
Yeah, just pull it out and organize it on a shelf. So
I love that.
I think it's great. The function of it's amazing too.
Yes.
The next question the listener asked: when color drenching a room, what do you do about the white wall plugs? Change to bronze, black, or combo?
100%.
Yeah. Or just like even like the gold or the stainless, depending on your style, and like depending on the color that you're drenching it in, you can get the actual plates where you can paint them. Mm-hmm. So if you just painted it, like say a color.
Or you can wallpaper them.
Yes. Yeah, you can actually
to have your wallpaper plates, continue.
Really, really cool. And
what about like the outlet itself?
That you can't really do much about. Like that will just be the color that it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're always like introducing new things. So like we'll keep our eyes out for like other opportunities to actually change the outlet color. Mm-hmm. But usually it's just for like
the plate.
You're just going to change out the plate. And so I know that you did this like in your home, like just to elevate it in general. Like you can't just do white plates everywhere, but if you're color drenching, definitely if it's like dark black, get the black one. They usually only have like black, brown, or white, like in a generic brand, but I would like to upgrade you, either paint it or go to a metallic, go to a gold or a silver.
I did nickel in my house. Yeah. On my kitchen island against the wood. You know what I mean? Like you want those to be special. And I just did nickel throughout the whole kitchen. And, there's the special rooms. I went ahead and changed out the outlet covers to be elevated. My kids' rooms still have white plastic though. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, so fun for your color drench.
Okay, the next question is our last question. Okay. And a listener wrote, any color paint tips for a primary bedroom? Oh,
guys, see your regret. My bedroom, I love color. And so most of the rooms, like the bedrooms, bathrooms are all like a color and it's saturated and it's good. And I love it so much. But in my bedroom, I think we were just like tired. It was the last bedroom we painted. I'm like, let's just paint it Renaissance, which is like this tissue pink color, which we did in the Tiger Oak entry, which I love. It's beautiful, but in a bedroom, it's too light. I think, we know this just because we work on clients' homes all day, every day, that if you want to be able to like focus on sleep and you want to be able to concentrate on a task, like that is the bedroom, do it in a darker color because that will allow you to concentrate. Give yourself some saturation. And so whatever color it may be, I wouldn't paint it red. I think you're going to look terrible in the morning. I wouldn't paint it saffron. You're probably going to look terrible in the morning in that color too. But like in the greens, the blues, like try and like find a flattering color that you love. Pink is always a really great one, or a shade of blush, but I would just like pull in the saturation a little bit more than I did. I was super disappointed with mine.
You know what makes me sad? White bedrooms.
Oh, such a bummer. It's
just, missed opportunity.
Yeah, you can't concentrate. Yeah. And like your mind wanders, and like it's a study that like if you want to be able to focus like in an office or a library, do it in a dark color. Because when it's white or too light, like there's too many options. Like your mind goes everywhere, but when it's dark, you get to hush. So give yourself some saturation, whatever color that you're feeling. So
do you have an example for them?
Trying to think. I think the most successful bedrooms that we've done have been dark. Like we've done them in plaster and like kind of a midnighty blue that's like more inky. We had a client that her favorite place to go in the whole wide world, they traveled a lot, was in Capri. And in the favorite hotel that she loved to stay in, the bedrooms were like this warm, inky black. And then the bathroom was like lighter, just so that you can like kind of wake up. But when you go to bed, it's dark. Imagine like your whole room just like being a blackout and like everything standing off that, the lamp light,
Yeah.
like sexy town. So
I'd probably
pretty.
never get up in the morning,
You
especially in
wouldn't.
the winter.
It'd be so gorgeous. But so I would honestly, I don't have an exact example because I think most of the paint colors that we choose are a little ambiguous based on the other choices in the room. Because paint honestly is the last thing that we choose. Like you usually have a rug or bedding or art or something that's inspiring it, and then you pull from that. So, and something that you feel pretty in. So,
yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
Great.
That was it.
Guys,
That's
thanks
it.
for writing in.
So fun.
We appreciate your questions. I hope this has been helpful. If you guys have any episode ideas that you wish we would record an episode on, please send those to Dear Alice at alicelanehome.com. We'd love it if you'd leave us a review. And I think that's all, right?
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time. Hey, thanks for listening. If you like our show, please leave a 5-star rating.